Hello, my fellow traders. You are welcome to my live session once again. All right. So, as I said in one of my videos, that this live session is not like I have students watching this live. Okay, like probably live on YouTube or live on any social media. So the thing is, I usually when I want to place a trade, I usually record my trade. Okay, so and that is kind of journaling my trade. All right, so I journal my trade in writing, and I journal my trade in video forms as well. So traders, as you can see that this current trade is currently running to my TP. All right, so and I'm just glad to actually get back into trading this week. All right, so although I have in fact I have so many gist to you about these gold markets, because I just knew something that that's been like I've been so blindfolded to for a long period of time. I get to know more about how the gold market actually move, and really, and that is just something that I feel like I am achieving in my trading journey. So right now I want to explain how I actually catch this move. All right, so let me explain that to you so that you are going to understand my trading processes. Okay, so right now I actually start my analysis from 1 hour time frame. Okay, so I started my analysis from 1 hour time frame, and if you look at this setup, this is a you can see very well that gold is in a downtrend. All right, but before I actually enter this trade, okay, and you see this left setup right there, you see this is a story that I'm going to create another video for this setup right there that you are seeing right there. I'm going to create another video for it because that's something that I said I discovered. All right, so now let's just get back into this current trade that is running to my TP right now. So I started my analysis from 1 hour time frame because I usually trade supply and demand, and with liquidity concept. All right, so and I do top down analysis. So and I don't use any indicators, as you can see on my screen right there. I don't use any indicators. I'm trading pure price action. All right, so I start my analysis from 1 hour time frame. All right, so when I see that okay, this is 1 hour time frame, and I can see that okay, price has already moved all the way to the downward, so that actually pictures to me that price is in a bearish is in a bearish position. All right, price was selling, and I see that price has already made lower highs around there. Okay, so I knew that okay, price is going to make another lower low somewhere around there. So since I see that okay, the trend of price is selling, so I simply went down to my 15 minutes. So what did I go and do at 15 minutes? What I simply did is that I actually went to look out for my internal supply zone. Okay, so when price is actually selling, that is when we say price is in a supply. When price is buying to the upside, that is when we say that price is in demand. All right, so I went down to my 15 minutes to mark out my recent supply zone. All right, so and if I'm going to explain this very well that you are going to understand, you can see that when price actually pushed to the downside massively like this, price simply pull back a little bit with these two green candle. Then from this moment on, the sellers took control of price and pushed price to the downside. You can see that. So it means that this green candle that we have here, this is another position that sellers enter into the market that push price down. So I mark out my 15 minutes time zone around here, 15 minutes supply zone. Okay, so this is my 15 minute supply zone. So when I mark out my 15 minute supply zone, in fact price hasn't even reversed all the way up here, because I think I mark out this 15 minute supply zone yesterday evening. Okay, so that was correct. It was yesterday evening that I mark out this supply zone. So when I mark out this supply zone, what did I do? Because I want to see how price reacts at this zone here. I want to see how price react there. Okay, so I use higher time frame to see the direction of price, the bias of price, the direction of price. Then I use 15 minutes to mark out my supply and demand zone, as I have explained earlier. So my entry, I used 5 minutes to enter my trade. Okay, so what did I go and do at 5 minutes? Okay, what I simply did at 5 minutes is that, as you can see right now, you can see that when price actually approached this 15 minutes supply zone, what did I do? Okay, so I simply zoom out. So now let me explain in detail so that you are going to understand how I actually understand this move. So right now we can see that price creates, let me say, lower highs, right? So now the thing is, when price creates lower high here, you see that price simply reverse all the way down here, creating another lower low, isn't it? Oh, sorry, not lower highs and lower low. Price was creating higher highs and higher low because price was actually in an uptrend right here. Okay, so when price is in an uptrend, in fact, let me just start from the ground up here, from the ground down here. All right, so you can see that price simply came up, creating higher high. This is higher low. Price came all the way up here, another higher high. This is higher low. Then price simply pushed massively to the upside, creating another higher high here. Okay, so when price actually tap into this zone, you can see that price creates higher highs and higher low. So this is my last low, isn't it? This red candle is my last higher low around here. So now you can see that immediately price creates higher low, price move up again. Okay, so price wants to actually break this high. Price wants to break this high, but the thing is, buyers did not have sufficient power to push price to the upside around here. All right, so and you can see that immediately buyers try to push price down, sellers took control all the way above here and push the price all the way down below this higher low. All right, it is still the same concept, because if you have watched my video, this is the same explanation that I usually say. Okay, so this is the understanding of how I actually know when price is changing from downtrend to an uptrend, or from an uptrend to downtrend. All right, so though my entry was not around here, but that doesn't actually mean that I cannot still trade this setup. All right, so now this is where I just explained to you, right? So you can see that immediately price break this low, it means that we have a market shift or change of character, as other traders know. Okay, so you can see that immediately price broke this low, price find its way back to this supply zone. Okay, so this is a supply zone around here that price simply respected before it begin the sell to the downside. You can see that this is a mechanical way that aligns with supply and demand. Okay, so now let me now tell you how I actually enter this trade. Okay, so we see that, so what I did is that I observed that price was making series of lower low, lower highs. Okay, then price simply came all the way down here, creating another lower low, isn't it? So this is another lower low right here. So after that, I see that price created lower highs. Okay, when price created lower highs, okay, so I see that price was actually consolidating around this zone. So this was actually in the morning. This was in the morning that I observed that price was actually consolidating around this zone. So let me zoom my screen so that you are going to see this very well. Okay, so you see that price was actually consolidating around this zone. So, and when price is consolidating like this, we don't take a trade. Okay, we don't take a trade. So what I simply did is that I wait for New York session to come to start before I actually enter this trade. So, and how do I enter this trade? So what actually confirmed to me that this trade is still going to continue in the downtrend is that I see that price came all the way down here, creating another lower low, and from here price simply came all the way up here. So what I did is that I mark up my supply zone here. Okay, I mark up my supply zone here. Okay, as you can see now, I mark up my 5 minutes supply zone. Let me just mark that out so that you'll be able to differentiate it. So this is 5 minutes supply zone. Can you see that? So this is my 5 minutes supply zone around there. So when I see that price tap into this zone, all right, when price tap into this zone, I waited for price to react very well. Now I didn't enter at this level right here, at this current price right here. The reason why is because I know that there is a liquidity sitting above double I, or double I's, okay? Because most traders know that when price is consolidating like this, that is when price is creating support and resistance, isn't it? But one thing is that support and resistance is, you cannot trade support and resistance, because it is not a high probability trade that you can trade, okay? So I actually waited for price to broke this consolidation zone. So when I say that price broke into this consolidation, I was eagerly waiting for price to come and break, like to come and sweep all the liquidity above here. Now you may not understand that okay, what is the meaning of liquidity? The meaning of liquidity is that when price was actually consolidating like this, there are some traders that probably they are beginners, or they are greedy traders, that they know that okay, price is selling, right? And they will just say that okay, let me just set a sell trade. They are going to place a sell trade like this, and they will do the same thing that I'm doing. I mean, they are going to target anywhere they want to take their profit, but their stop loss will set just a few pip above this zone. In fact, some will even set their stop loss all the way at the level at which there is double I. You can see that even this, it is more than double I's, because price simply came up here, tap into this one, it came down, it tap into it too, it came down and tap into it again. This is 3 I's. This is 3 I's. So some broke traders will actually set their stop loss like this, and you can see what actually happened to them. Okay, so what price simply, after price came all the way up here, price found its way down, and then price approached that stop losses. Okay, so these stop losses that has been set here already, this week actually take them out. So when this week actually take them out, I mean this week you are seeing here, okay, let me just mark that up very well. This week you can see, so this candle actually take all the broke traders out, and they are going to lose the money that they have set to this place. But in my own case, all right, in my own case, you see that I actually manage my risk. Okay, I manage my risk. And what does that mean? It simply means that I know that, because I understand the market very well, I know that there is a liquidity above this high, isn't it? Now, in fact, initially I remember that I set my stop loss around here. Yeah, I set my stop loss around here, but at a point in time I just think that this my stop loss is too tight, so I give it a breathing room. Okay, I give it a breathing room to come all the way up here, because even at this my stop loss, it is still my standard stop loss that I often use, $15, and my maximum stop loss is around, I think, $20. Yeah, $20. So you can see that price simply tap into this place. So adding being that I set my stop loss above here like this, I also would have been part of liquidity. Okay, but you see that I didn't do that. So I simply set my stop loss all the way up here, and you can see that immediately price approached this zone. Actually, I entered around this zone here. But you can see that price simply find its way back, sweep all the liquidity here, and then what the price do? Price simply push to the downside. You can see it continue creating this lower low and lower highs analysis. Okay, and in fact I actually have a swing view of this trade, because this is my TP1 and this is my TP2, and just because today is Thursday, I don't want to swing trade this setup at all. Although I have already set my TP around this zone, but I have already changed it to TP2. Now I don't know if price will actually get to this level tonight. I don't know that, because this New York session that we are currently is going to end by 9 p.m. So when it is 9 p.m, I think London session, I can't remember, I think another session will be in play. So when probably price came all the way down here, probably at 9 p.m. in the evening. Okay, so the next session will actually ensure that they reverse price to the previous supply zone before probably they might continue to sell the trade to the downside. Okay, so this is something that I have already understand about this market. So I am going to manage my expectation for today's trade. I'm going to manage my expectation for this trade, because I don't want to lose this profit that I'm currently on. I don't want to lose it. I'm going to ensure that I take my profits tonight. I'm going to ensure that I take my profits tonight. Really, I'm going to ensure that I take my profits tonight. So I don't mind if it's going to be around there or at the middle of this place. All right. Now, quickly, let me just show you my wide view about this trade. Now, if you look at 1 hour right now, let me show you 1 hour time frame, so that you know that, so that you also is going to see that, okay, this is a valid trade. All right. So now let us analyze this higher time frame together. You can see that price simply was in a downside, right? Lower low. Now what price simply did is that price came all the way to this 1 hour supply zone. Okay. So this is 1 hour supply zone. So price came all the way up here to come, and okay, and price has already make a market shift around here. You can see it here. This is the market shift. So what price is simply doing is that you can see that on 1 hour price is heavily bearish, isn't it? Price is heavily bearish on 1 hour. You can see this is lower low, lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low, lower highs. Now price is going for another lower low. That is, as in, looking at this higher time frame, I cannot explain it more than this, because it is very clear as day that on higher time frame, gold is in a downtrend, creating lower low, lower highs, lower highs, lower low, lower highs. Now the next thing is want to create a lower low. Okay, so that is the view that I have about this trade, really. So that is how I trade supply and demand traders. That is how I trade supply and demand and traders. I finally made my profit on this trade, really. And one thing is that this was on Thursday. I placed this trade on Thursday, as you can see below on the screen, Thursday 18 June 2026, right? And I made that profit on the same day. All right, that was around 2 hours to 20. That was around after 8 o'clock in the evening. Now that I'm just recording this video is that it's been about 3 days right now that I've made this profit, and I'm just able to check my charts and see that I'm in profit. All right, I know that I've been in profit already, but I just don't have that time to finish the recording of this trading. All right, I mean on this trade that I took rather. Anyways, I made profit of about, okay, I think that was $53. Okay, let me check my device right now and show you. Okay, can you see now? So I made about $53 on this trade. $53, and you can see, just look at this clean setup. This is a chart cannot be cleaner than this, really, because you see, this is just a testament. As I always say that I'm trading only one strategy. Okay, and even I know that this trade is going to reach TP number 2. I know that as well, but it's just that I don't want to leave this trade to run to the next day. All right, and you can see that in the next day, after markets open around there, okay, markets just keep selling to the downside. Really, market just keeps selling to the downside. So this is something that I just want you to know, that it is very possible, it is a high probability that if you actually put in the work to learn how the financial markets work, there is no way that you are not going to realize profits, because it's going to be clear as day to you that, okay, you have that belief, you have that faith that you are going to make profit in the financial markets. That is something that I believe, and I'm working with that belief that okay, I know that I'm going to be successful in this trading journey. So traders, I don't want this video to be long. I just want you to build your faith while watching this video. I want you to build your faith. I want you to have that faith that this trading is going to work out if you are learning the right system. And I can tell you that you don't need any indicators. You don't need any indicators. You don't need any fancy strategy. You don't need any fancy strategy that drain you. You don't need it, because all you need is learning how markets flow, which is supply and demand, market mechanics, supply and demand, and combination of liquidity concept. That is what I am doing. It is no more than that. Supply and demand and liquidity concepts. These two concepts is all you need to be a profitable trader. I know that. You can see that I'm building this trading journey gradually. Even if I make a loss, I know the reason why I'm losing. I know that market just doesn't move randomly. Markets move in structure, and having this knowledge give me that that mindset that okay, market is not built against me so that I can lose my money. The market is built so that I can actually make profit. Okay, market is built so that I can make profit. All right, so ever since then I know that okay, I need to stay calm, I need to be disciplined, I need to learn more about. And yes, I know that risk management is very important in trading as well. So I have learned all about this thing, and that is what I am simply applying on my trading journey. So traders, I don't want you to be I want you to just take that leap of faith to learn the right system of trading, and I know that you are going to be a profitable trader in the long term. So traders, stay true to yourself, believe in God, stay committed into implementation, and you are going to be on your way to profitability. So traders, I'm happy to speak to you. I'm going to see you in my next video. Thank you.